For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray कि आप और आपका पूरा परिवार healthy हो, happy हो, safe हो. Guys, today we have Vasvi Tiwari ma'am with us, and she is the author of a couple of books. The first one is The Bedford Tea Room, and the second one is House as We Knew It. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on our show. I'm truly honored to share this platform with you.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for having me over.
Pleasure, ma'am. So, ma'am, let's just directly jump into the questions. And my first question of this podcast is, what to you are good elements of good writing?
See, there are many to name. But to start with, I would say, in a story writing, the factors like cause and effect. What was the cause of something happening and what was the effect of it works a lot. Then, of course, there is good drama and good ending. And obviously, element of surprise and curiosity, I think, work the best.
Okay. But ma'am, when it comes to you specifically, I'm asking, how do you know what to write? There must be a lot of thing in your mind going on. Every one of us is, facing lots of thoughts and receiving lots of thoughts in our mind every day. But when it comes to you, how do you clarify? How do you find out, okay, no, I have to write these things?
So I think this is, it depends, it's really each to its own. But for me, I think two things that really work. Obviously, I mean, for all authors, it's the same. But I think for me, what works most is obviously the instinct and the inspiration. So if you say instinct, when I say instinct, it's you see something and it instantly that it's hit off very well with you. And inspiration, on the other hand, is something you've walked into a cafe, you are seeing somebody, or there's a frown, or they are happy, or you meet somebody, and they just instantly give you that inspiration, and you feel like, oh, I've met this person seems very interesting. So that also happens. And also, there are settings like probably you're sitting in a park or you're traveling, and all of that, I think, put together, they work and they just help one's imaginative faculty.
Definitely, ma'am. So when it comes to you, you have shared, okay, that's how you clarify how to write books. But when it comes to writing a particular book, how long do you take to write a book? Completing a book take how many days, how many months, like that?
See, it all depends on what kind of story really you want to write. But my first book that I had written, The Bedford Tea Room, I had finished that book in a matter of 4 months. But also that was because, I had started writing that time. We were in the middle of a pandemic and I was also my family way. So just writing kept me in a very healthy occupation. The second one, I think, took me around 10 months because I had my commitments towards my role as a mother. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, it just very variable. You cannot really say how much time, and it also depends on the story that you have thought. It also depends on the length of time that you want to invest in it, when you are writing. Mm-hmm. So it really is very, very variable, and I cannot certainly tell you number of days or months, that I can write a story in.
Okay. But ma'am, what I personally think, as you said, it completely depends upon the character, the story, what you think. But when it comes to you specifically, what comes first? The plot is something that comes to your mind first, or the characters? So according to character, you define the plot. How does it go with you?
See, the thing is, in my opinion, I feel that plot in general is the mother of characters, in the sense that it is the plot that decides how your characters are going to be, how they are going to be talking, how they are going to be formed, how they are going to be conducting themselves. So it really is that plot that decides. But I also think, obviously, the genre that I want to write in, and then I decide the time, the era in which I want to put my story in. And then, then I bought my characters around it and work around that plot.
Okay. Next question to this podcast is, ma'am, I know this would be very difficult because you have created all the characters of your books. So, but if you get to meet any of your characters, then what would you just say to them? What would be your response to them?
This is a very difficult question, but really a good one. Let me say that. Well, if I really get to meet any of my characters, I don't know. I don't know if I want to tell them anything, but I definitely would like to watch them and play, observe my work, and it really will be very nice, isn't it, to meet one of my characters? It really will be great.
So now it was like meeting your character. Now coming to the fictional characters, like if you get to chance to meet any of the other fictional characters, what would be that and why would you love to meet them?
So that, I'm afraid, would be Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice.
Okay.
Because and I don't need to say why. But on a serious note, I mean, I feel that is one character that is created around itself, kind of curiosity. There are so many things that in that character you want to know about more. Why probably he has met Elizabeth and he's not instantly liked her, or has something happened in his childhood, or was he rejected in love or something that has made his character to be so stiff and so to himself. So I think that just brings a lot of curiosity in one's mind to know him more. So therefore I think that would be one character I would want to meet, definitely.
So ma'am, now we have talked about all these things. Now coming to a writing part of your life, what risk have you taken with your writing that has completely paid off well, according to you? Kyunki theek hai, ye kaam kiya, but my writing has completely paid off me regarding that. Is there anything like that?
So I'll tell you, Gaurav, my first book, The Bedford Tea Room, it is a historical fiction which is based out of a place named Bath in UK, and it's a Victorian drama. And I wanted the elements of that time to reflect in the book. So I tried, and I kept the narrative and the colloquy as close as possible to that time, because language is something that makes you come closer to the narrative. So I think that was a big risk, because in doing so, you suddenly make it a little ornamental, and it just starts to sound like, in a way, classic. But having said that, I mean, I took that risk and it was hugely appreciated, and I kind of thank God for it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So my next question to this podcast is, ma'am, what character are the hardest for you to flesh out? Like, that you must think as of now as well, okay, this was the hardest character to build. Any of them are like that?
So see, both my books, I mean, the characters that I have formed, I think are something, I mean, they were very they came very easily to me in that way. But I think the hardest character, like, I haven't worked on any of this, but I feel that characters with that kind of a vindictive streak, or which are like highly pessimistic, are still kind of a little difficult for me to create, because I feel that they take too much out of me. But then, having said that, I'm not close to the idea of designing one. Perhaps I'm just waiting for that one great idea or inspiration probably to come my way.
Ma'am, my next question is, like, I have been in conversation with like around more than 200 plus authors as of now, and we have completed more than 190 episodes today. Like, we are recording 190th episode out today. All of them have different writing schedules.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So like, all of them have different writing schedules. Some dedicate some particular hours to their writing. Some just jot it down randomly if you get some thought in their phone, in their diary, and बाद में बैठ के लिखते हैं. So how does it go with you? Like, do you have any particular writing schedule?
Well, you see, I prefer mornings, because early mornings are they work best for me, because then you get the whole day. You can schedule the whole day around and the things. And then I like to I finish my chores in the day and everything, and then I like to then again sit in the late night, when I put my daughter to bed, and go back to working, because then these are very quiet hours for me, and I can work easily in those hours. So for me, it's early morning, and sometimes even afternoons and night, depends on if I want to be like, no, I want to finish writing. I have this idea and I want to put down that idea immediately and finish it. But preferably my morning and night hours work better for me.
So, ma'am, like after the first lockdown was over, what I have personally seen that numbers of author got increased very rapidly. Like we are in this industry for more than 7 years as of now, and we have seen a
Yeah.
kind of boom after the first lockdown was over. So, because writing has been like publishing has become much more easier. What I have personally think, the KDP is there, lots of literary agents are there, publishing is there, self-publishing is there, so everything is there.
Right.
So when it comes to you, like many books are being published these days, do you think that competition is getting tough? Like, what's your take on this?
See, the thing is, one cannot evade competition or escape it. I mean, it is everywhere. It is in every form of occupation or employment that one can think of. But funnily, yes, I'll tell you one thing. I was when I was writing my second book, I got in touch with many authors, and one of them, I wouldn't take his name, but he told me that Vasvi, this field is flooded. And to be very honest, I was very nervous at that point of time when he told me that. But then I took it in my stride, and I'm like, okay, it's no, probably it's just that phase. And then what is the world without hardship and challenges, and how will you ever appreciate what you have got if you do not meet a few challenges, right?
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we talked about challenges, so how do you celebrate your success and how do you manage your failure?
I think learning from everything is a part of life, right? We keep learning all our lives. So in fact, success and failure to me to some extent are very similar, in the sense that I want to do better when I've succeeded, and the same goes for failure. It's both ways. You always want to do better, isn't it?
Definitely, that's true. That's so true. That's completely it's like बहुत कम ऐसे पॉडकास्ट होते हैं जिसमें से मैं अपने लिए कुछ लेके जाता हूँ, and this particular statement is something which I am personally taking from this podcast. So
Thank
that's
you so
quite
much.
a new perspective and quite a new fresh perspective what I have heard after many years.
Thank you.
So ma'am, like let's go back to the time when you heard okay, tomorrow your book will be live on Amazon, everybody will be able to judge it, everybody will be able to buy it, just to measure what do you think, what your thoughts are, so everything like that. So on that particular eve, if we talk about, what do you feel like? Do you feel stress? You mark some milestones, okay, these many people know me, my book has to be sold out, these many copies, relax, excited, what goes on the mind at that time?
You definitely are very nervous. If I go back in time and I think about my book launch or the day my book came on Amazon, I was so nervous. I mean, obviously, all these things play on your mind that, oh my God, my book is out, people will be reading it. Obviously, there will be judgment. There will be some people like it, some people may not like it. All these things, obviously, they are part and parcel. But, I feel that even if I felt nervous, I feel like it's worthy of that moment. And somewhere I feel that if your heart is not punching your ribs for something, like, it means that you have not done or thought enough about it, because now that that you've put your all sweat and blood into it, and you're going out there to now talk about it. I mean, it is a bag of mixed feelings, no doubt, but somewhere that you're doing the right thing, and you are there to convince the world and talk to them about what your work is about.
So ma'am, probably my last question to this podcast is like, is there anything you are currently reading?
Oh yes, so there is this book named The Uncommon Reader.
Okay.
And it has very recently come to my desk, because I've been very caught up with the release and everything. So I started reading, and it's a very handy book. It's a very small, perhaps a palm size book, which I also sometimes keep in my bag, And the story is, it's very enchanting. Okay, the story is about how Queen Elizabeth came to reading. Now, as much as we think that, okay, she was the queen, and reading would be her regular curriculum, and but it wasn't so, surprisingly. So it is an insight in one of her very unexplored sides, and thus it invokes the feeling of wanting to know more, So it is a very interesting book, and I say that if one gets a hands on it, to definitely read it.
Okay. Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this lovely and inspiring conversation with Vasavi ma'am. And if you do, then do follow our podcast available on the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. आप जस्ट Amazon पे जाएं, वहाँ पे सर्च करें वासवी तिवारी मैम की बुक आ जाएगी. ज़रूर खरीदें, पढ़ें और अपने जानने वाले चैनल से ज़रूर शेयर करें. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on our show. It was my honor to be able to host you today.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Thank you. It was pleasure coming here.